It is Thursday morning, and I've got my same old route, but I've picked up a kind of an early sped route that'll be my regular one, just the morning part. Get me some extra hours each week, so that's a good thing. So I'm getting even more walking in at work now with some of the changes of the job, so that's good. And I've been feeling really good. It is Saturday afternoon, about 1:45. I am at Chisholm Trail Park, which is right behind Belton High School, and just taking a walk on. They got a kind of a walking path that loops around quite a bit. Just wanted to get a little walking in today, and it's 92 degrees. And there's no shade on this section I'm going right now. I don't know how far this wraps around, but just wanted to get a little walking in. So I went to a ball game last night. I did a field trip, was with the field trip with Belton High School down to Pflugerville. And they're playing football. Belton won, yay. I didn't get back till 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get back home. I get up at 4 every day. So it was a long day. You know, this week has been a really good week physically, and having a lot of energy. I've been tired. Because I've been doing more, but I've just had a lot more energy. I'm able to do it. Doing a lot more walking on the job in various ways. But yesterday in particular was a very busy day. A lot of walking. And at the game, of course, I went up and watched the game, the first half, went up in the stands. And, I practically ran up the stairs, I kind of had a little hop to my step and coming down too. And I didn't worry about falling or, not being very steady. Felt very good. During the second half, I stood toward the end zone with some other bus drivers. They had a big screen. We watched a lot of it on the screen. And I stood there for the whole second half. And when I got home at 1 a.m., I was tired, but I still had energy. So it took me like an hour to finally decide to go to sleep. And something that I usually don't do all week long, I've been fidgety. I'll sit there sitting somewhere and I'm tapping my leg and I'm fidgety. That hasn't happened to me in a long time. So I got a good compliment this week earlier from one of our bus drivers. He was one that last year at this time when I first started, before I got my CDL, I rode with a bunch of different drivers. And Larry was one of them. So he told me earlier this week, he said, yeah, Chapman, he said, I remember last year how difficult it was for you to go all the way to the back of the lot to the buses. His bus was back there. Mine is back there now. And then the white fleet is even further off in the corner. He said, I remember how difficult it was for you to do that. He said, now I see you scooting around here, walking fast and just doing your thing. He said, you're really looking good. Glad to see it. And whatever you're doing, it's working. Keep it up. So that's always gives you a little boost. I'm going to sit on the bench. I've been one loop. I'm going to see how far I went. Okay, well, All Trails says I went 0.54 miles, this loop right here. And there's another loop that goes around back there, probably a little bit bigger, but it's hot. Anyway, so I've done real well on my eating this week as well. I know I've lost some weight. But last night, while on the bus, we take the students there, and usually the school provides meals for them And then they provide a meal for the bus driver, just little box meals, And so usually they'd eat off the bus, but we had a couple of lightning delays. And so they ate all their food on the bus, and boy, it sure did smell good. And the bus parked next to me, Bill, old Mr. Bill, was really enjoying his deli sandwich. That's what they had, deli stuff. And so they gave me my box, and I just put it on the dash. I wasn't going to eat it. My plan was, because I figured I might get something, just to find somebody who'll eat it, And I brought a couple of packets of tuna and some pork rinds. That's what I was going to have. And, when they got off the bus and everything, I was really hungry. And I thought, you know what? I've had a really good week. Done a lot of walking. That day I did a lot of walking, was going to be doing more at that game. And so I said, I'm going to enjoy this meal, free meal. I wouldn't have gone and bought it. I wouldn't have bought anything at the concession stand other than a soda. Got me a zero sugar soda. But so I did. It was a big ham sandwich, some chips, a pickle, and a chocolate chip cookie. I ate it. And so I figured it'll cost me a little bit, but probably not too much. So, I just did it. I don't feel bad about it either. It's been such a good week, and I've been doing well. So in the apartment complex where we live, my sister-in-law has her town home, and I've got a little apartment. And every day we use the same exit in the morning, in the evening, whatever. And so very early in the morning, I'll leave at 5:30 usually to get to work. And it's dark. And there's a cemetery right across from that exit down that little road. And every morning at 5:30, I see this white work truck backed up down a little dirt, gravel road in the cemetery. And it's there every morning. And so I've also noticed people there when I come home or at different times of the day. There are people there maybe in the evening. And there's this teddy bear that's strapped to a bench. My sister-in-law, of course, has seen the same thing. And so finally one day she'd been telling herself, because when she'd come home after work, there'd be a lady sitting there on that bench. And every now and then, we'd see a man there in the white truck. And so she'd had this urge, my sister-in-law, Shelly, she wanted to give that woman a hug. So one day, just last week, she just pulled in. She saw her there on that bench, and Shelly pulled in there, walked up to her and said, "I've seen you here every day." And she said, I want to give you a hug. I don't know, she didn't know the situation, but exactly. But she said, "I want to give you a hug." And so the lady just really gave her a big hug. Her husband drove up in that white truck. And so they told Shelly that it was their 14-year-old son. He was 14. And I think he took his life in like 2021, something like that. And so they've been coming out there like that, I guess, since then. And so they told Shelly the story of their son. And they still show up there at that gravesite and still mourn. So just recently, one day I drove by there. The father was there. He was sitting on the bench by the teddy bear. He wears a big old hat. He works outside, and so to block the sun, but he had his head down, and he was sitting there holding the hand of the teddy bear and just had his head down, and so I just can't even imagine at all. Oh, cooling off a little bit. It's hot, but there's actually a nice little breeze. Got some rain clouds coming, looks like. So it's kind of peaceful and nice out here right now, actually. I'm not going to walk this. I'm not going to do a mile. I'm going to stop here, but I'm going to sit here for a little bit longer. Good Sunday morning, everybody. All right, well, this coming Saturday is going to be the hike for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention through 46 climbs. I'm just going to go to the local trail and just do some hiking out there this year. I'll put a link below to my page where you can donate if you'd like. So my goal was $500 and had some donations come in, one particularly large one, thank you so much, which now puts us a little over $500. So I went ahead and upped the goal to $700. So if you'd like to go donate $5 or something like that, that would be wonderful. And of course, and the team page is in honor of Colin Renfro. All right, let's go get on the scale. Okay, so last Sunday I weighed 370 pounds, and this morning I weighed 368 pounds, giving me a 2-pound loss on the week. And the grand total since I began on January 1st is 86.4 pounds. All right, so I plan on doing a little hike. It's not going to be maybe a couple miles. It's not going to be much. This Saturday at the Miller Springs Nature Center, north of the north side of the Belton Lake Dam. And the park opens at 8 o'clock. I plan on being there at 8 in the morning and everything, and look forward to a nice little memorial hike. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let's all have a great week. I plan on it. Lord willing, I'll see you next Sunday.